Hi guys, how's everybody doing? I thought I would come down to the areas that the police were, or the riots and the protesting was last night. Show y'all what happened. So we're coming up on the Mesa Springs shopping center. That was where when I ended last night, that all the windows were being broken and looting was going on. Looks like Starbucks remained intact. I think they kind of got it under control last night, but not until a lot of damage had been done. Morning. Yeah, you can hear them cleaning things up. I'd kind of like to assert that the protesters were in the parking lot of the police station, which was empty. There was no cars or anything there. And the only thing that was going on was a lot of yelling at the cops for addressing the government. And then some people started tagging the police station, and that's when they started peppering everyone and gassing everyone. And then they kept driving everyone back in the neighborhoods over and over. Eventually brought in reinforcements, but then we have this. So I would kind of say that the police have guilt on their hands about this as well. Had they just let them people tag their precious cop shops and not enraged them with gas and flashbangs and pepper pellets, that none of this shit would have happened, I think. But that's just my opinion. The Vons was pretty well emptied out. They looted it pretty good. A lot of people are here watching. There's the cops. Wonder if they feel the same. They could have done things differently. All the way down through here, most of the stores have been vandalized and or looted. Let's walk around the other way and we'll go look at where the trucks were burning, and they burned down a couple of banks last night. Poor Sally's. Hey, Cop Blocker. What's up, Air Cooled? Hey, Gary. What's up, Keith and Tim Straight? Hey, No Justice. They're already painting over the graffiti people left. A lot of people are coming with cleaning supplies to come help. I think a lot of other people as well are coming out here to check out what all went down last night. Lots of people with brooms and cleaning supplies. Yeah, smash the thumbs up. Thanks, guys. And oh, let's go across the street. Okay, this is the library. It didn't get messed with too much. City Hall got a bunch of windows broken out. Here's that truck and car that was burning last night. I think that one was a fire truck. This one was just someone's car that was parked there. And then over there, that was a Vaughn's delivery truck that got lit on fire. That tree didn't fare too well. And these things burnt to the ground. They didn't do anything to put them out or anything.
Yeah.
There's some windows that were broken out. They had originally barricaded that stuff off with furniture.
Praying for you. Appreciate that. Getting high over here with that paint. Don't just outline it, make it. Yeah. Don't just make it.
Here's some people covering up the tagging. The window's all broken out.
Off right away. Does anyone know if there's other people?
Right up over here.
There's a hose?
There was. I think, see it right there by the gutter?
Yeah. You're highlighting it. Fill it in.
Make it bigger.
The people are telling that guy he was trying to paint over the stuff, but he was just making it bigger with a different color. More broken windows. Excuse me. Lots of people jumping in and cleaning up. Lots of broken windows here. Like I said, I wonder if they just let the people continue to tag the building and protest peacefully and not started hitting everybody with gas and flashbangs and stuff. Wonder if things would have went any different. The businesses over there seem to go pretty untouched from what I saw last night. Looks like maybe some windows were broken out or something, but let's walk over here and you can see where the Chase building is still smoldering. I can say this. The gassing and pellets and flashbangs, they certainly didn't do anything to stop what happened last night. You know, I kind of think one of the things our police departments lack is the ability to properly threat assess. I mean, when we see a mainstream journalist who identifies, who has the fake credentials, I know y'all know what I mean when I say fake. There is no credentials for press. The Constitution gives us all the right to press. When you see them being arrested, and they're not a threat, they're clearly asking the cops, where do you want us to be out of your way, blah, blah, blah. And they still arrest those people, and they do shit like they did here last night. I think something needs to be addressed with that. They really need to be trained on how to threat assess. Spray paint on your beloved, stupid fucking police house that we paid for anyway does not justify all the violence that took place after by whipping the crowd into a frenzy with other violence. That's just my take on the matter. There's the Chase building. It's pretty much in ruins. It's just a little bit of twisted steel and some smoldering stuff now. And then the Union Bank after that it's on the other side. We'll walk down there and take a look at it. All in all, really though, things could have been much worse. Some of the cities got a lot worse than we did. Hey, Roadhog. Hey, Johnny. What's up, Cop Blocker? Hi, Hesperia. What's up, Tony? Here's an up front look at the Chase building that got burned last night. Looks like everything else is pretty intact. This lumber yard, I really like this lumber yard. I come here quite a bit. Lots of people out driving by, checking out the damage to their city. Hey Raz, how are you this morning? Hi Press On. I don't remember if I saw you come in or not. Thank you for dropping in. Looks like we have a good signal today as compared to yesterday. There was a lot of people trying to suck up the same signal at the same time. It wasn't my turn to go, but there were no cars coming, and I got tired of standing there. I'm not good at following orders.
how this all works.
Well, here's the mess here. Construction workers, contractors probably looking at, we should put a bid in on this shit. And there's the Union Bank. It's burnt to the ground as well. Looks like that building back there took some damage also. Walk back there and take a look at that. Definitely a bunch of wreckage and carnage, twisted steel and construction materials, drywall, whatever. Some of it's still smoking even. There's the firefighters, they've probably been here all night. Unfortunately, this kind of stuff just divides the community even worse. You're going to have a lot of people that say, go ahead and do whatever to a certain class of people. They get what they deserve. Hate brings more hate, right? Doesn't matter who's the person's dealing out the hate. I'm not sure what this building here is. A restaurant, I guess. Looks like not a whole lot of damage over here other than this building. There's the lamestream media putting their spin on things. And there we have it. That's pretty much the extent of damage in La Mesa. I don't know that there's more protests scheduled for today. Haven't heard anything about curfews or anything like that. I did hear that El Cajon is having some more protests. Hopefully those will not go the way of this one. The police are paying attention. They will not enrage the protesters. Here's some more graffitiist. But it's just sidewalk chalk. Yeah, I'm not sure why the banks got targeted in that building back there. And maybe just if there's reasoning or symbolism behind that, the people that did it, or just opportunity. There's a fire still burning over there.
Yeah, I
wonder if that's like a gas main or something. Yeah, I would guess that's a gas. thing that's definitely happening is a lot of conversations. Everyone's kind of taking a look at things and the way we're going about things. Okay, gotta cross the street again. So darn busy here, it's hard to get across the street. Agreed, press on. Fear is definitely a way the government uses for control. The only problem with that is fear turns to anger, and anger turns to hate and destruction. So, I mean, I heard on a different channel, this guy was talking about that shopping cart thing, where people were saying if you don't put the shopping cart away, that you're a bad person. Which, by the way, I have been a shopping cart Nazi for decades. If I see you not put your shopping cart away, I will openly shame you. Unless you're an old lady or someone with kids or whatever, you know, I'll grab it for you and put it away for you. But he was saying that if you take that theory a little further, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad person, but most people do put the shopping carts away, and there's no consequences for not putting the shopping carts away. And there's no threat of force or tickets or violence there, but most people still do the right thing. So in most circumstances, most of us will do the right things. The government doesn't need to apply force for every stupid fucking little thing that they do. That's just governments being governments. All things governments need, no matter what the government is, no matter where in the world, is they need perceived authority, because they really have no authority. It's what we give them. And monopoly on violence. Without those two things, there cannot be government. No matter how good or how bad the government is, they share those two things in common. And violence can take many forms. It could be taking your money so you can't have a place to live. It could be taking your freedom. It could be kicking you out of the country. There's a lot of forms for violence. Hey, DSS. What's up, Frank Evans and Isaac? Well, we're coming back up where everything started last night. More of the piggies. This thing was just like way on fire. I was watching it burn. I was here when the gas tank blew up. I wasn't here beside it. I was back there on the corner a little bit. Oh, I guess the library did take a little damage. That could be what you call it? That could be from the cops' flashbangs and tear gas as well. They were firing at that direction because people were kind of bottlenecked in there from getting away from them in the parking lot. Well, we crossed the street successfully again. And we're back to the Vaughn's area. it is good that people coming together to help clean up. Another thing I can kind of toss out there is if we all get more involved with our communities, if we all stand for reform against the violent tactics of the police and the local governments, because it's not just the cops, they take their orders from someone, right? The city councils, the mayors, city managers, so on and so forth. If we start leaning on them as a community, then I don't think we would have these kind of things happen anymore. I mean, it's all good to say, oh, they're just looting thugs, no low lives, trash, blah blah blah, but haven't a lot of these people that are business owners and community leaders, haven't they let a good portion of the communities down? They definitely turned a blind eye. They didn't listen to their protests and their pleas for help when they asked for it. Then they act all surprised when this shit happens. But at the same time, don't get me wrong, I don't condone this. I would come to that Vaughn's and shop. It's definitely not the cheapest store in town. It's probably one of the higher ones, but the ladies in there at the cash register are always really nice. They bag your groceries for you, so I choose to support my community rather than go a few blocks over to a Walmart or a Target. Right, cop blocker? What a dumbass, our president. He's gonna tweet inflammatory tweets. Most of our big government is just so out of touch with reality. I don't know. I don't think none of them represent you or I or these people standing around us. You see what's happening. It's the community protested yesterday. The cops pissed off the protesters, and then there was a bunch of backlash in the form of looting and burning. And now the community's coming together to clean up the mess. There's nothing with the federal government whatsoever. It's all local. Well, we get across this street and it's smooth sailing from here. It's not too busy. I just live about a mile from where all this shit took place. We always press the button when we come up onto a stoplight, but does it really do any good, or does that just pacify us? I think the pedestrian walks change with the lights to do the same thing no matter you press the button or not. But maybe some of them do, some of them don't. I don't know. Oh, there's someone. It's like, not Sally's. Driving on the phone. Many times as we get told not to do that, right? Watch it, old man. We got the right of way. If you want to get hit by a car, one of those little ones, that's the one to get hit by. Probably still wouldn't come out too well, but be a lot better than getting hit by a 57 Chevy. Something that I didn't know, and y'all could do your own research into it. Don't take my word for it, but I was kind of a victim of the mainstream media misinformation about Antifa. I had only seen the Antifa that most of y'all have seen on TV and what the media portrays them as. When really the most of Antifa we don't even see, and they are a self-proclaimed anti-fascist group, and they do use violence, but a lot of times it go there against the white nationalists, and when the cops start trouble like they did last night, they'll do things to draw attention to themselves so the rest of the protesters can continue to protest. Make up your own mind on them, I guess. Some people will agree or not agree, but I at first I just kind of thought they were a bunch of... Yes, sir. How are you? You have a YouTube channel? You have a YouTube channel? Okay, I'm Spike Love on YouTube.
What's your name?
Spike Love.
Alright, cool. Say hi to Facebook.
What was your name?
Oh, my name's Dakota.
Hey, Dakota.
Hey, how you doing?
Someone else documenting. I was here last night for the protest.
Okay, you were. How was that? I mean, I live just right down the street.
Me too. I live right there a little ways, but the protests were peaceful until the cops started messing with everybody. They started shooting flashbangs and tear gas and pepper pellets, and they over and over, and they brought in reinforcements. The worst that was happening was their precious fucking little cop shop got spray painted.
Right.
And then they used that to justify all the violence, and that drove everyone out into the neighborhoods, and it went downhill from there. So
yeah, well, I know all the shops at the center basically shut down early, anticipating all this.
It's not good, but it's not as bad as
good.
some of the cities that got.
Yeah,
we didn't get it nearly as bad, but
like Minneapolis was basically
they're just torn to death. Yeah,
over there. LA was pretty bad. San Jose, Oakland,
But I'm going to insert that the police tactics played a role in this.
That's what I heard. Everything was pretty peaceful until flashbangs and
everyone was concentrated around the police station in an empty parking lot. They drove them into the neighborhoods.
Yeah, it just absolutely sucks that it happened in our neighborhood of all places. You know?
Right.
I mean, I heard the protest was going to be downtown until what happened over at the trolley station.
Right. Yeah.
And then everyone moved over here, so it's absolutely sucks. Yeah. You were there all night, or?
I was there. I marched down the freeway.
Yeah.
And then I came back to the police station. Then it seemed like things were starting to calm down, and I left. And I saw on the regular news that they were running the tear gas and stuff, and I went back.
Yeah. How many people do you think I can estimate were there?
I bet sometimes there was 4,000 or 5,000 at least.
Yeah.
At least that was just in the police parking lot. Yeah, marching down the freeway, there was probably 8,000 or 10,000 people.
Damn. All right. Well, nice meeting you, man.
You too. Have a good day.
Likewise. Stay safe.
Right. Oh, sorry. One of my fellow journalists. Good morning. How are you?
Good.
Awesome. Better than a lot, right? And if y'all wonder why people choose to live in the high cost of living in Southern California, it's because of a lot of that. A lot of people are just friendly and nice. It's not all wackos and the people that you see on the news. It's just a lot of good people. Most of us struggling to make the bills in this high cost environment. we like the nice weather and beaches. Have a hard time in the sun watching the chat and stuff, so I haven't been watching it too close, but it seems like everybody's been being nice and respectful of each other. Thank you for that. We don't need a bunch of arguing, bickering and stuff. Oh yeah, Chuck got shot last night. I got shot last night. right in the back as I was running away while they were pelting us. I got a nice welted up bruise right on the edge of my back, kind of by the lower rib area for my trouble. Them suckers hurt. And the tear gas was pretty brutal. That shit gets spread around. If you're ever at a protest and they start doing that shit, try to stay upwind as best you can. Your first reaction is to gag and breathe in, but don't do that. Take small breaths and breathe out as much as you can. And don't rub your eyes. Usually most protests, people pass around water and milk. Don't be shy. Grab that shit and pour on your face, or ask your neighbor too that's standing next to you. That everybody's there to help each other. Kind of odd, huh? That during a protest, people know to bring things like that. That's the tactics. I think we need to, like I said, we need to question what a threat is. Angry people are not a threat. Angry people yelling and screaming. Some derelicts tagging the police station, thinking their art looks more beautiful than ours does, or what the people that built the police station thinks it should look. That's me trying to be funny again. It's not coming out so well. But that's not violence. That's not a threat. And I honestly think that I'm gonna have to shut down, not talk for a second. We're doing some groundskeeping up here. Good morning. I honestly think that the powers that be would rather see some of this destruction and put the bad spin on the protesters, because they gain a lot of public favor. I mean, if you look at all the comments on the news media channels and all that stuff, everyone's like, "Oh, then people are bad," and they say then the racist stuff starts coming in and all that. So they get to, even at the point of the community coming together, they still get to divide and conquer. Because at one point when there was 10,000 people marching down the freeway in solidarity, that is something to be reckoned with. And when them cops tried to stop us, we just walked around them. No one bought into their violent bullshit. So I do think there's probably some method to their madness. I don't think it's by accident that the same result keeps happening when there's a large protest. But that, I guess, arguably could just be human nature. But I tend to think They do that shit on purpose. But also at the same time, it's people there making bad choices. Like I was saying earlier, hate always brings hate. Doesn't matter if it's them bringing the hate or us bringing the hate. Us being the people or them being the government. If we take a look at our history, the colonial people fought England, so violent men kicked violent men off of this land, and a few hundred years later, here we are. We have a ruling class. We are just as much, if not more, imperialistic than England ever was. It seems like America's not going to be happy till the rest of the world would have asphalt parking lots and Burger Kings just like we do. I hear all the propaganda. You know what? Remember the burqas, people getting on the people about burqas, the Muslims, and the propaganda and the hate that brought. But now we all wear a mask, right? Well, not all, but most people. So, and our government telling us that the Iranians are evil. Those people aren't evil. They're the same as us for the most part. And their government's telling them the same shit about us. But the people over there that are just living, that are trying to get along as best they can, they face a lot of the same struggles that we do. And they're no more prone to violence than we are. So maybe if we all just kind of figured out a way to just refuse the government's authority. That's what I kind of do personally. I just don't recognize their authority. I do what I want. If I get caught, there will be consequences. I understand that. But if we just quietly take away their authority and don't recognize it, what can they do? They can't throw us all in jail. And I think a non-violent dismissal of their authority might actually be a new beginning that would give us a chance to do something in a different way. So we don't keep repeating the same process over slowly and slowly as we've done over and over throughout history. Oh, here's the area I live in. They're building some apartment buildings over here. San Diego's like being a coastal city. There's only so much space, but we're really hurting for housing out here. It's number 3 in the nation as far as housing cost. And that's just because of people building. Here's the big old tire next to me. I like this shop. The manager's really cool. He fixed the flat for me the other day. It wasn't a flat, it was a slow leak I had. He didn't charge me nothing just because I live next door. So see, that's what a community is about. All the little things you do for each other. Little shopping plaza. Got little pizza place next to Wing Empire's bomb. They got pretty good wings at the pizza place too. And the cops always hang out at the Dunkin' Donuts over there. Surprise, surprise. Well, guys, I'm just about home, so I'm going to say goodbye. And thanks, everybody, for stopping in. Lots of love, y'all. Take care. Try to put some good into the world today.